27. At number one, it's it's unfair to Davis to put him number two in a position where he would be number one in every other position probably. But this guy at number one, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
I'm not even gonna try.
break. That's okay. To call him the Greek freak, call him Giannis, whatever you want to call him. Just note that whenever this guy is so good, he plays 27 minutes per game. I'm going to read you his per 36 stat line. Mind you, he plays 27 minutes per game, so his numbers are a little bit lower than this. But on per 36, he averages 35 points, 16 rebounds, and 6.6 assists. Sorry, I was looking at that wrong. His blocks and steals aren't that high, but he still won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Clearly, he makes a difference on defense. 35 and 16, though. 35, 16. Like, I know he only plays 27. We're talking about Anthony Davis playing 40. Imagine if Giannis played 40.
Yeah, I mean, we said that about someone else too, that he only played 20, I think it was Marvin Bagley, only playing 25 minutes per game. And same with Giannis, like playing 30 minutes per game, and like you said, putting up that line. It's clearly,
Ridiculous.
yeah, who knows if it's an issue of they feel like he might get fatigued throughout the game. But like, who knows?
They don't need him to play during the regular season, though. They don't need him to play.
Exactly.
They take him off when they have a 15-point lead. I think of the Miami Heat in 2013. LeBron only played when they needed him to play.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, like you said about the Davis video too, I mean, back-to-back MVP speaks for itself. Yeah, he doesn't have the NBA Finals appearance, but he's obviously brought that Bucks team far enough in the playoffs. And that's a Bucks team that hadn't won a playoff series in a number of years. So to even get them over that hurdle is an accomplishment in its own right. And this is a guy too who we have to remember. He was the 15th pick in the draft. He really just came in the league as just a freak athlete. And he's developed all these different basketball skills that have really made him the best overall power forward at this position.
Siakam on steroids.
Yeah, I mean, to think he'd put up 30 points per game is almost like if you told me 4 years ago that Giannis would be a 30-point per game guy, I would have laughed. I would have said, oh,
30
maybe,
and 11, yep.
yeah, I would have said maybe 30 and 11, 30 and 13.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at his defensive rebounds. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
It's amazing what this guy's become, and I mean that's even with a guy who hasn't developed certain areas of its game. I guess to say like if we can a couple bad things about him, looking at it, so Giannis, I mean,
Three-point shooting.
yeah, I mean he's also one of the worst free throws of anyone in position. Him and his brother both. I think he was 83rd overall. So that's just I guess something that, like I said, the body type, it just doesn't work for them in terms of being good free throw shooters. You obviously alluded to the 3-point shooting. His turnovers, I believe, are pretty high as well. He's first in turnovers by a lot, to be honest. And like you said
But to
too,
be fair, when you put him up to other players of the same usage percentage, his turnovers is right up there. It's not like he's crazy higher than a player like Doncic. Out there, he's right about that level. So I definitely don't. I we can knock him on it, but he's such a great player.
yeah. And I mean, I sent a text to you saying, "Oh, I'm struggling with my 1, 2, and 3, but I seen a specific stat that really set me on who the number one
Yeah.
is." And that stat for me it was the win-loss ratio that a player accounted for. So sorry, the player in second for power forwards was plus 9 wins. Giannis was plus
16?
18. Plus 18.
18.
He had double the amount of Jason Tatum. And I mean, clearly for a guy to generate 18 wins for your team, when again the next highest guy was 9, you're obviously the most valuable player, at least at that position. And that puts you down to a very slim category, right? And looking at real plus minus too, this guy was someone who his real plus minus was 10. The next highest at power forward, I believe, was 3. So again, that's 7 better than anyone. No one else in the league in the position has such a large gap like that in terms of real plus minus, in terms of the win-loss ratio that they help create. So clearly, Giannis has an ability in that regard to really help the Bucks do what they need to.
Making sure we pull in my driveway there. But yeah, no, Giannis definitely, like you say, great player. And whenever we're talking about Giannis, but we keep talking about his weaknesses. Can you imagine what kind of player he would be if he didn't have these weaknesses? If he could hit that three, if he can hit those free throws, if he can do all these things that we're already talking about him being the second best player on the planet right now. I can only imagine him being probably the best player on the planet and not even being close. He's putting up numbers we put him on the same plane as LeBron, but he's putting up better numbers than LeBron ever did. He's putting up numbers that we've never seen before, especially not on this low of efficiency. It's amazing. Like I say, his wins added are double of what anyone else in the whole on his position, or even more in the whole league at this point. He doesn't even need to play. But if he improves that 3-point shooting, improves that free throw shooting, and more importantly, improved in the playoffs, there's no reason why he can't be the best player for the next 10 years in a row, and not just at this position. The fact that we had to think about if he's better than Anthony Davis, if he's better than Durant, the fact that that was even a conversation just goes to show that he has so much more potential to reach. He's going to be amazing for the next 10 years, and I'm excited to watch, no matter what team he goes for.
Yeah.
Come to Toronto.
I mean, I don't think we're necessarily going to see him improve a lot in the 3-point or the free throw realm. I mean, this is a guy who knows he gets the line a lot. He was first in attempts for power forwards at 9.9, still only hit 62%. So, like, I guess that's just always probably going to be the knock on him, that he can't hit it consistently. But again, like you said, the wins added just speaks for itself. His ability to get to the net, he does drop a bit in the playoffs. And I mean, at this point, the fact that he's probably not the best player in the league is the fact that one of the brightest memories in my basketball mind is Kawhi Leonard just absolutely dunking on Giannis, and really getting the Raptors to that NBA Finals appearance. Versus if it was Giannis doing that to Kawhi, Giannis is probably the best player in the NBA right now, and that's just really what set it apart. In that moment, Kawhi stepped up. He showed what the franchise number one, number two guy in the league
needs to do.
Exactly. Versus Giannis is still in that top 5 discussion there, but power forward, definitely number one.
Definitely number one.
I mean, ironically too, there's so much talk about the Bucks leaving. We look at Mr. LeBron James and when he left, and there's so much talk and there was so much criticism on LeBron about, oh, you didn't win, and you could say the same about Giannis. Well, guess what? LeBron James left after his 7th year in Cleveland, and he did not win a title. And then he lost another year in Miami, and that happened. Giannis just finished his 7th year in Milwaukee.
Give him a chance.
I'm saying though, but the chance he has to go potentially where there's been so much talk to Miami is going to be in his 9th year, the same year LeBron James won his first title. So there's no reason to give Giannis whatever shit for not winning yet again when LeBron took to his 9th year. So we don't know how many he'll have in a row. We don't know what he's going to look like in the finals until he gets there. And for it to take him year 9 or 10, clearly, even for the best player
normal,
of this generation,
that happened to Jordan too.
Exactly. And that's why people, like even ourselves, we criticize him for it. But when I saw that, it's like you literally have a career at that point that's reminiscent to LeBron James.
We just criticize him because of how well the Bucks are in the regular season. The Bucks are the best team in the regular season. It's not even close. I don't know if LeBron's ever had that. But the fact that the Bucks have that and they will go down, that's where the knock is. But to be fair, it's not a fair knock. He's so young. He has this team they're built around him, but he's got Middleton, but no true second star like LeBron had to win a championship. Mm-hmm. I think if he's around a team like what LeBron had in 2012, 2013, then there's no way anyone beats him. I think he's right up there. He's going to be a great player. Him and Doncic are going to be the future of this league. I hope Davis is right up there as well. But like we talked about, Giannis just does certain things better than anyone else in the league. And if he keeps doing those certain things better than anyone else, then I don't see how he gets off of that spot. Number one is where he's going to stay.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll necessarily win a 3rd straight MVP, but regardless, like you said,
either way,
saying this, the Bucks absolutely going to make the playoffs. I myself, we have a previous video where I said there might be the most disappointing team in the regular season. You know what? It might happen, but if they actually have some playoff success, it's not going to matter. But ultimately, my kind of point with the LeBron thing is I don't even care how this year goes because I just want to see what happens almost in year 9, just to see where he's going to play and just to see if that's going to translate into an NBA title for him. Because once year 9 happens, where again LeBron, Jordan, other players, that's really where they almost seem to take off. That's where we're going to get to gauge where Giannis' term sits in terms of all-time NBA. Because he's going to be going into that 9th, 10th year where you could actually put together a large enough portfolio and gauge what Giannis truly was throughout his career too.
I really do like, as much as he may stay in the Bucks, I really like him in Miami. I really like him in Toronto. I think both those teams, he would fit so well in those teams, and they would be a contender for the next 10, 15 years. But that being said, no matter where Giannis goes, he's going to be on a contender. He is a contender. He is contending.
And like we said, he does have our number one spot. We awarded Nikola Jokic with a Joe Louis as an award. So what does Sir Giannis Antetokounmpo and what, however we want to say it, you guys can spell it in the
Antetokounmpo.
comments. And then Giannis Ant, we'll just go with that. How are we going to reward Sir Giannis, Mr. Greek Freak? Are we going to get him a pita wrap if he ever comes to Toronto?
I think we should get him a couple of packs of rockets.
Yeah, but he's Greek. He doesn't. Oh, you know what? That's the point. We get them Canadian
Get him
snacks.
something different. Who
Exactly.
cares about where they come from?
The Joe
Come
Louis.
visit us.
No, like you said, the Joe Louis was Canadian. The Rockets are Canadian. These are key elements. So there we go. We have your award. We hope you're not diabetic because
Give us your address. We'll get it. We'll get it over to you. Don't worry.
I don't know if they'll make it
We'll,
across the border.
we'll get you the bigger one, the big ones though, not the little ones.
Oh,
Don't
the
worry, we got you.
ones are better for sure. The big ones are aesthetically more pleasing, but the little ones taste way better. You could eat more of them at once, so there's more sour. You know.
Video call me, Giannis. I'll show you what they are. Give me your address. We'll hook it up. Don't worry.
We won't give away your address either, don't worry. And just before we head off on this list, I do want to make one honorary mention